All right, YouTube. Martin Shkreli is apparently in contact with 4chan to try to join the board of directors or bankroll it or something to that effect. Some people might think, oh, well, isn't he that price gouging dude that shot up the price of, I think it was like the HIV drug or something and got in some trouble for that, got yelled at by Congress. But it's fairly obvious if you look at his YouTube channel, all he does is stream for hours at a time. He's probably a Polak. I can imagine he probably goes to politically incorrect. I don't think that it's any great mystery that that probably happens. Honestly, if it keeps 4chan running smoothly, if it keeps 4chan running and not lose hemorrhaging money, I don't really care how they restructure it. The only real thing that 4chan needs to be is anonymous posting where people are not forced to pay like some retarded subscription fee, offering extras to people, I guess, in some manner in order to offset costs, have them pay for it. I mean, beyond 4chan passes that aren't really widely used, it seems. I wouldn't have a problem with that. As long as it doesn't cause censorship or the loss of anonymity on 4chan, it doesn't matter. I'm one of those people who, even if they were to charge people like a yearly fee or something, if it was reasonable, I'd pay that just to use 4chan, honestly. I'm not encouraging that to be done. Perhaps finding a wealthy donor with political motivations, as Shkreli may have, would probably be a better solution, at least for some time. But anything that keeps 4chan afloat is a good thing. Of course, Moodykins, the former owner, quit. He rage quit because the site never really pulled him in any significant money. I think he was living with his parents still towards the end. Here's this site. It's one of the top websites. It sees millions and millions of people pouring onto it every month to discuss basically every major news topic on Earth, and he can't even turn a profit with it. Part of that being the hesitance, I guess, of those who have led 4chan to really try to capitalize about it. Sell merchandise, sell like 4chan t-shirts or something. It doesn't really matter what you do as long as it's anonymous and isn't censored. There will be plenty of people using the site. Nobody, I think, would have that much of a problem with them trying to capitalize on it, at least enough to break even. And to put some degree of profit in for the effort that's put into the site by those that are maintaining it. But yeah, welcome aboard. If he ends up joining sort of the 4chan squad, it would be a valuable thing, and the fact that it makes it into the news potentially would be even better. I thought it was funny. I think it was Salon, I'm not sure who posted it, some retard page was talking about, oh, the death of 4chan is upon us, victory for feminism. 4chan is a long way from dying. There are also other chans that exist. If 4chan were temporarily or permanently to go belly up, and I think it's almost unthinkable that that would happen at this stage. They're talking about ways to make the site more functional. I don't care which choices they choose, as long as it remains anonymous posting on 4chan. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to go belly up, and if it did, there are other sites that can be used for exactly the same purpose. Those sites might end up crashing if that were to happen, because they'd be overwhelmed by traffic, honestly. It'd be very, very funny. You might also, for anybody who might celebrate, they'd say, oh, well, the big bad 4chan is dying. Be very, very careful, because if it does, you're going to end up with millions of shit posters on your site that are going to see that news, spread it around on one of the other chans, and they're going to organize attacks on your sites that'll make the death of 4chan look mild. Your site will cease to exist. That would be perhaps a warning to Salon and Jezebel and some of these other sites. I may not partake in such things. There are plenty of people on 4chan who will. At the very least, you're going to have so many shit posters signing up on your site that it'll become temporarily unusable. Then you can, of course, post some sort of story about how evil, misogynistic trolls poured onto your site because the den of trolls got destroyed. 4chan's not going anywhere. That's my prediction. So yeah, this dude who bought the Wu-Tang album there, I don't know why, who cares about the Wu-Tang Clan, and pisses everybody off on a regular basis, apparently is talking to, Japanese Moodykins, the new owner of 4chan, in order to see what can be done. Good. Use some of your fortune for good. 4chan does good things in the world. It allows a place for people to express themselves that isn't, extremely censored and everything you post is archived forever. It's anonymous. It's the point behind it. That was the point of 4chan to begin with. Does it bother people? Well, then don't use 4chan, I suppose. Go and use Reddit or Tumblr or some stupid site like that. And yeah, they are stupid. Reddit's dumber than a box of rocks. It looks terrible. The site format is terrible. The way it functions is terrible. I wouldn't. I had somebody tell me, "Oh well, you should at least see R the Donald." The Donald Trump subreddit. No, I'm not going to use that one either. I don't want to give him my traffic. I'm not going to use Reddit. I'm not going to use Tumblr. I think Tumblr is actually the one dying. Didn't they have a story a few weeks ago about them being on their last leg because nobody gives a crap about them anymore? Yeah, I can imagine it. Again, as I said before, the only good Tumblr is the Fuck Yeah Dolan blog. Now I'm surprised Blogspot hasn't gone belly up. If it does, I gotta migrate all of my literary materials elsewhere, along with all the ICQ stuff. Take me ages. It'd be terrible. But it would have to be done. It's important for posterity. All that stuff would have to be put somewhere else. So yeah, I hope he does get involved with 4chan. If it can ease the strain of the situation, make it turn a profit, rather whether by some business model he suggests or he bankrolls it, to get stake in it or something. I don't care. Make him an admin if he pays up. Go ahead. No, I'd rather trust him than some of the other randomly selected retards that sometimes administer the site anyway. Half these people don't know anything about them. Who fucking knows what their ideology is? Could be some crazy North Korean on a proxy and we wouldn't even know. They're trying to spread propaganda and knock down the Western world or something. So yeah, Martin Shkreli. I don't have a problem with him, by the way. The idea of price gouging, that problem was solved within days as one of his competitors offered something that was generic and much lower cost, thus proving the same adage that Shkreli himself has talked about: the free market works. Yeah, if a corporation jacks up the price and there's no copyright law or anything like that in place to protect that company's monopoly, yeah, the free market will fix it very, very quickly because there's demand for the product. That's just the way things work. People need to stop being so concerned, and everybody overlooked this. The media didn't want to talk about the fact that the jacking up of the price of these drugs didn't even affect anybody because they all just switched to buying the cheaper alternative. It didn't affect anybody. Nobody cares. Now it's an old story. They don't even talk about it. Why? Because they'd have to admit that. Oh yeah, the free market actually works out. It does. Bring the free market to 4chan too. And I ban all of Australia also, I would say. Not because I don't know Australians or people in Australia who are good people, but the majority of them, they just shitpost, honestly, constantly. It's a constant wall-to-wall stream of them competing with people from Canada for the title of who can shit on everybody's parade all day long more effectively. That's all that happens anymore in some of these threads. It's not even a joke. It's not even hyperbole. I see it literally every single day, every single hour. It's actually real. I always assumed it was mythological, like when Moot was joking about Australian shit posters or something. No, it's true. But Australia has tamed itself. Now Canada's trying to take the lead, and Germany and Sweden aren't far behind. Some of these people probably are just proxied, but it's a pretty bad situation. Yeah, ban some of these shit posters, and maybe the site will be cheaper to run because they won't be gobbling up all of your bandwidth or whatever. That's about all. Peace out.